This is our newly created React project. So it has the default file structure, and I will go through the file structure, how this project run. So first of all, I will check the index.html. So this is the entry point where the application load. And once it's load in the body, I can see only I have div ID root, and we have only one script injected, which is inside src main.jsx. Okay, so let's go to src main.jsx. So this is our main file, which will load the app component. So here we have app.jsx, which is a function, that means a functional component. And here in the main JSX, here we are rendering the app component. And the main.jsx is injected in the index.html. So that means when this JSX file load, it will bootstrap the app component inside the document.getElement by ID root. So this is a JavaScript property which will get the document element by ID. So it will get the element, that means the div, and it will load the app component there. That's how a React is loading application. And this app component can be now distributed with multiple subcomponents to create a highly scalable application structure. We will go through this later, but this is how the React is loading the application. And here are some other files. This is package.json. This is like a project brain, which is have the all the identity like name, and here we have the dependencies. Dependencies are the libraries that is needed for this project. So in future we will install any npm package. This will be added in this dependency. So this is package.json, and package lock is the lock version of the package.json. And here we have the byte.config.js. What is byte? Byte is like it's a wrapper of the React application which is running on a local server. So byte is creating a local server, and I have here added port 3000. This was not present in the default code. So by default, it will run on some other port, but I want to run it on 3000 port. So I have added this one configuration server to run on port 3000. So I can change the port from here. And now we have the app.jsx, which is the entry file. And to run the React application, you have to open the terminal. Since this is an npm project, so you have to run with npm run dev, and it will start your React application on Byte server. This is our first React application, and it is loaded. If you want to learn React fully, then please comment React on the video and also subscribe the channel. So this is our initial React project structure. We will go through by creating step by step, and this is the default template given by React, and this is nothing but loading the app.jsx. So here, if I change anything like get started, this is get started, which is showing here, and get started with product in India. I have changed the text. Let's see. It's auto reflect the change. That means it's auto reloading the application. Whenever there is a code change, it is auto reloading the application. And here, this is only one component, but we can distribute it to a multiple component. Like a website has a header, has footer, has the content area. So you can say header is a component and footer is a component, then content area is a component. Three components. So there will be three components injected here, like header, content, footer. And then the components will again have subcomponents. We'll go through on it. So how we'll structure actually our project. So there is no other folder or directory here on the assets. So since we have multiple components, so first of all, we need to create a new folder called components. It will hold all the components. Now, a component will have database logic, like it will get the data from API. I have already mentioned what is API. So if you don't know what is API, you can click on the eye icon to check the video. So this is a front-end application and it will consume API from backend. So all the API logics need to be separated for a well-structured enterprise level application. You always need to separate the business logic from the component. So component is just UI pieces and that will load the UI pieces and play with interactivity with the state here, state in React on front end since it is a front end application. So it will get data for the application from backend, but it will have the UI and some interactivity. So it will get data. That means the data logic. The data logic which will be a separate layer that will separate folder. So a component will hold all the UI pieces. Same way, there will be another folder those data logics and API calls, all those out of UI part are goes inside services. So any framework work like this, like UI pieces in a place and data logic in a place. And now there might be some other things. There might be storage, like client side storage. We always not call the API and we'll store some data in some storage. So it's better always create a storage folder. Later we will decide what to do. So this is our basic structure of a React application. We'll go through differ in each of the folders later. We'll create a React store. So basically our first step will be here to display some products and we'll go through it. So if you want to learn React from scratch, so like you are a college student, want to learn React as your first professional course, then please comment on the video React and from where you are watching. This will motivate me to create the next interesting video and get together with the React.